Hello again. I had an amazing game. It was actually a match of 3 against JSTO here. At the end of the match I'll display the deck list that I used for this game. Anyway. So my opponent decided to play first, and this was the hand that I was presented with. As always, I'm playing Sliver Queen. So it looks like it's doing that glitch where the hand is displayed opposite. So just remember that my board is the board on top. Anyway, this was not really an action-filled hand, so I decided to mulligan, and I mulliganed into this, which I decided to keep. So we'll see how this plays out. So my opponent got a bit of a slow start, and I led off with Vault. Feeling pretty strong so far. So fetched up underground, and my opponent played Trygon. So here I was questioning what I should do. I thought maybe I should Lindell's Vault and go get perhaps Humility, and then put the clamps on him. Another possibility was just to Mystical for Terminus, or Lindell's Vault for Terminus, either way. So let's see what I decided to do. So the first option was no good. Second option was no good. Third option I decided no good. Fourth option, keep. So what I did was I put this Bayou with the City of Brass on top of it, the Verge on top of that, then Karn underneath of Ice. So the play here is, thanks to the ability of Vault to let me stack more than one card, the play here is just Ice the Predator, and then draw a land again, play Karn, win game, have Forcible back up. That should do it. So I should have made this play during his upkeep before he had options. I didn't. So I cast it main phase, and he's got Simic Charm. Cheap enough so that when I force, he's able to afford to counter my force. And I'm stuck looking at a Trygon Predator with basically no hand. So at this point in the game, I definitely don't want to top deck the Karn, so I go ahead and use the Delta and go get some green. But this is a pretty awful spot to be sitting in. Now I thought about playing the map here, but if I play the map I have to use it. I can't just play it. And I didn't want to use it and tap out because I thought he was going to get down with his commander. Instead he offers up this guy here, some sort of 4/4 graft creature. At any rate, it was a no. So for my turn I top deck Jace, which is pretty big, obviously. Brainstorm up. And now I've got 2 floating. I haven't played a land yet, so what do you do here? Another thinker. But I ship away the Volcanic and the Mergent Scroll and got down with the map for strip so that I could buy time before his commander hits. And then the thinking is, next turn, maybe he doesn't play anything too relevant. I Jace +2. He's going to probably attack Jace, so I +2 Jace. And then after that, I'm ready to go with Crumple for his commander. I just keep +2ing Jace to improve my card quality, and I stay in the game. Instead, he plays basically Overrun, or if you want to look at it another way, 4 points of direct damage to Jace and kills it. So I draw Imperial Seal, which I feel I can't afford to use. And I'm just hoping, of course, he's going to play a land and play his commander. Instead, well, he gets in for some damage. Then he plays this thing, which now means that I'm going to have a really difficult time casting anything on my turn, assuming he has a counterspell. But I let it go because it's not worth fighting over. It increases the damage dealt to me, and it does give him a little bit of utility mana, but that just isn't the threat. So he gets in there and plays Ooze Flux. So he can turn +1/+1 counters into creatures. Since he has no +1/+1 counters this time, I just let it go. Top deck the staff, but of course, even if I could play it and shoot his bird, that's not going to help me because he's going to just eat it with Trygon, so I say go. And my whole game plan hinging on Spell Crumple, my opponent of course draws Cavern of Souls. So I figured he was going to name whatever his commander is, but instead he names Elemental to play Vigor. So he's got a 6/6 uncounterable trample creature, and he gets in for some beats. And now I'm on a pretty fast clock. 10 damage a turn is quick, swift indeed at 19 life. So I figured at this point, what I need to do is Imperial Seal and Terminus and clear things out, and then Spell Crumple his commander. But the problem is, if I Imperial Seal and say go, he's going to play his commander and draw 6 cards due to Vigor, and then he'll get a bunch of command tokens on his commander. He's gonna, if he draws counter spells, he's gonna have mana on my turn. Basically, I'm going to lose if he plays his commander, so I have to leave a counter up. At the same time, one hit from this for 10, one hit from this for 10, and it's dead. I have to Imperial Seal now. So the only thing I could afford to do at this point, was to run out a Crucible in order to get an additional land into play, which I chose Strip Mine, so that I can Imperial Seal and still have the counter for his commander. So his turn, he goes for commander. Fortunately, he did not say... fortunately, he said elementals with this land and not merfolk or wizards. So I make the must play. He smashes for 10, and Crucible goes away. It was a one-shot deal. I'm at 7 now, and if you notice, what's really nice here is all the mana works out perfectly. Terminus away his guys, leaving him with a card in hand, and exactly 6 mana for a staff. So on his turn he gets down with Vigian Graph Mage, not running out of gas. In an equilibrium. Hopefully something won't be too good against me. However, I misplay in this game, and it does become good against me, and you'll see why in a bit. So, staff finds Humility and a Cryptic, which is very nice. Now notice, Equilibrium triggers on cast, not resolution. So he lays the beats, and I really wanted to strip one of these lands, preferably the forest, but since he's probably not playing too many elementals, and that was just a name for that other creature, if I kill his forest, then he won't be able to take counters off this and make guys, and also I could strand some green cards and buy time. At 5 life, though, I don't have much. So I draw and draw. So now I can actually sack that Misty in Humility. So first I strip his forest. The problem is if I play Humility, his creature has counters on it. It won't... they stay, so it won't be a 1/1, and I won't be able to shoot it with a staff. So I figured, okay, what I'm going to do is get rid of his creature and then play Humility. I was thinking his creature won't come into play with the +1/+1 counters. However, that is actually incorrect, and you'll see why. Or maybe you already figured it out. So, nice brainstorm there. Gets me down to Dynamo to go with my Stroke of Genius. We'll just move the queen over. Now notice this other issue here. I'm playing against the clock. This is game 3, and I've got 7 minutes and 30 seconds left to try to figure out how to win. So Humility does come down. And now his 0/0 is a 1/1, which comes into play with 2 counters on it. Because it comes into play with them, it will get the counters even though it comes into play with no text. And this was the problem I didn't foresee. So I'm not at all safe here. So I've been draw the 2 cards I didn't want and play a land. So what can I do? What I figured was I would play queen and then just make a bunch of blockers, but alas, I played humility to try to stop his graph mage. So humility here was a huge misplay. Not only did it not stop his graph mage and sets his creature up for staff, but it locked my queen out so that I can't play queen here and then just produce a bunch of tokens and have indefinite blocks. Worse, he's got an equilibrium, so all he has to do, if I throw a queen out now, which is pretty much my only option, all he has to do is play a creature and bounce it, and I lose. Whereas if queen was active, he would be able to bounce it, but then I would be able to produce multiple tokens in response and still have blockers. So I figured I'd probably lost at this point as I saw him tapping mana, but turns out it was just a GT. Although I say just, like it's not a problem. So he equips the Jeet and swings in to kill the suicidal queen. And because I can't allow him to get counters on the Jeet and then I'll no longer have the ability to block, I ping my queen with staff after blockers are declared but before damage is assigned and push her back into the command zone. So I mean, stalling can work out for me due to that Staff of Nin, but not when I draw 4 lands in a row, really. So I was thinking I could play queen again, or I could play stroke. And after I did the math for how much I could possibly draw here, how much mana would be left, I decided I needed to try to sort of work that staff, draw those 2 cards one more time. If I could just get away with it one more time. So he gets a forest, which has me pretty worried because now that he has a forest, if he has a green creature, I thought I was going to lose there, but if he does, it requires 2 green and it's not an elemental. So I chump again and make the exact same play. Queen putting in the hard work for me. And staff finds Wargate and Orb. Orb doesn't seem likely to do much for me this game, especially when I'm tapping out. But Wargate looks pretty good. So the question is, what do you get? And the answer for me, I'll give you a moment. So you can see right now I've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana, so I can go get anything I want. And my first hunch was Karn, but I thought, I don't know, what if he's got mana leak? So I decided not to get Karn. And I got this instead, the Abyss. So the goal here is just kill his creature with the Abyss, and then I've got time, and I can stroke a genius for the win, or just let staff do what it does. But he's able to, since Ooze Flux here removes the counters, not the creature itself, he's able to create a creature in response to the Abyss targeting. But it doesn't matter because I have staff. So I let him equip it. And then just clear it out. And of course I've got the Abyss as well. Like, you know, he might have like a flash creature though, so I have to watch out for that. There are a few of them in green, obviously. Strangely. And then boom, boom. So I'm going to minimize queen. Factor, Fiction, and Remand puts me in a very, very good spot. So he's down to 3 cards in hand. Taps out for Doubling Season, which I allow. And I go for Stroke. I figure if he's got a counter spell, I'm just going to remand the Stroke back to my hand. And try again next turn. But it turns out he doesn't have one. And I get this. Now, here's the problem though. He's at 36. I'm at 2. And I have 2 minutes and 44 seconds left on the clock. So how do I turn this recovery into a win? I mean, I can't sit and think, and I have to play ultra fast. I can pause the game while we're reviewing it, but in real time, it's a pretty big headache. So this is the play I make. First, generate a little bit of extra mana. Second, clear out any possible resistance. Third, get down with Karn so that next turn he won't be able to do anything. And then finally remove Doubling Season just because it's a little bit of a headache. Probably could have also removed Cavern of Souls or his Forest, but that's what I chose. So I charge Relic immediately so that I can hit F4. He does nothing. I stack my effects quickly, flipping through them. Karn clears the way. Down to 1 minute and 34 seconds, so that last turn took me a minute. He's still at 35 life. So I will. So here's the graveyard, and it's not like I had time to actually do this. Pop it open and look. Here are my options. Oh, how I wish I could Imperial Seal, but at 2 life, not an option. So what do you do? Well, this is the play I made. Brainstorm. And luckily I brainstormed into a test card, Crystal Ball, and the card I wanted, more than anything actually, just about, Demonic Tutor. So I replay Strip Mine from the graveyard, Demonic for Jace, 1 minute on the clock, or Tezzeret rather. Tezzeret comes down, Vault sneaks into play, Tez untaps both. Look at the timing on this. I throw in my test card, Crystal Ball, and an orb, for no good reason at all other than the fact that it's an artifact. Gets down with Oracle, 30 seconds left. And then 3 different upkeep effects, one of which I haven't autoed yet. A draw, then another draw. 27 seconds, 25 seconds. Click my attackers. Go, go, go. 22. 16 seconds. 14 seconds. And I win. -10. I didn't have time to count it, so I threw extra artifacts out just to be sure. 15 seconds left on the clock. Crazy recovery. And excellent game 3. Hopefully I get to play this person again. And I hope you enjoyed this game. See you next time.